Good morning. Well, it's morning here. It's probably not morning where you are. I'm going to give you a guided tour of the area that we'll be living and working and studying in while we're here during our first tour here on Mars. You just saw the lander that we came down in. You also saw the Mars rover. There it is again. The Mars rover unfortunately is charging, so I'll be doing this trip on foot. Whenever we do our EVAs, which is extravehicular activity, we are fully suited up to protect us against the cold temperatures. As you can see, the gravity here is quite a bit less than that on Earth. It's about 40% of what it would be, so I get some nice hang time when I'm jumping for when we install our basketball court. We're going to take a walk over to our habitation module that the crew and I will be moving into shortly. As you can see, it was landed ahead of us and set up by remote robots. It's located in one of the many craters from impacts in this area. It is possible that one day one of these craters might be able to have a dome installed over it that we can then pressurize and live and work inside with a little bit more breathing room, and we wouldn't have to wear our suits and oxygen tanks. As you can see, one of our assistive tracked robots is down by the habitation module. I also want to point out, you can see that everything is pretty dusty here. There is always a fine dust blowing around in the air. Over in this direction we have our solar panels that were installed several years ahead of our arrival. So they've been charging batteries to meet our power needs. The sun here isn't nearly as strong as it is on Earth, but it is strong enough that if we have a large solar installation like this one, it can charge a battery. The batteries come in handy for times when the dust storms pick up and our sunshine isn't quite as strong. If we head over in this direction, you'll see one of our other installations. This is our WAVAR station, which, as I'm sure you know from your training and your knowledge base, WAVAR is a technology that pulls water, H2O, out of the Martian atmosphere. There are times, especially at night, when the humidity is close to 100%. So these devices are pulling water out of the Martian atmosphere and storing it in these tanks here to meet our water needs. Eventually it might even allow us to do farming here on Mars. We also have this electrolysis installation, which is taking the H2O from one of the pumps and separating it into hydrogen and oxygen so that we can create fuel here on Mars that we don't have to bring with us to support our return trips to the space station and back to Earth ultimately. And last but not least, off in the distance here, we have our MOXIE installation. This is basically our artificial forest. It's pulling CO2, carbon dioxide, out of the atmosphere, which, as you know, the atmosphere here is 95-96% carbon dioxide. Would be totally unbreathable to humans the way it stands now, but these machines actually separate the carbon and the oxygen so that we can store the oxygen and use it to refill our oxygen tanks. You see another one of our robotic friends there charging. So that's pretty much what we're looking at right now. We have a pretty good start to help us survive and thrive here on Mars. We'll be collecting samples, we'll be charting our health and just seeing how we do over our extended tour here on Mars before our return to Earth. And we will keep you posted. Thanks for your support.